Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about knife care maintenance and what to expect out of your carbon steel knives. Now, I like using high carbon steel knives. 1095 is my preferred metal. I do work in 01 and the ADC RV2, but no stainless. I'm not set up to handle it. I believe I've mentioned that before. Anything, I don't have the heat treating kilns to do everything that it's supposed to do, and it's supposed to soak for a long time too at a specific temperature. And with a gas forge, that just don't work too good on that. I probably could in a gas, but you know. Anyway, now the care of these knives. These no handle on this one yet. Okay, this one has been hanging over in the window for nearly a week now. Maybe it was a week. And what I done with it, it's got a little dust on it there where the oil soaked it up. After I etched it in the ferric chloride, I buffed it up with a steel wool. And if you can see the hamon pattern on that, right through there. This side is the same. Well, I mean, it's different side to side. So, anyway, I done that. I cleaned it down. I alcoholed it off. Let that flash dry. Rubbed it down with oil. Hung it up. Come back a day or so later, and it had rust on it. Did I panic? No. And so what I done was I took some lighter fluid, just plain ordinary lighter fluid. This is good stuff. I'll tell you why in a minute. And a piece of steel wool, 4/0. The finer you can get, the better off you are. It won't scratch the finish. The finer it is, it's just polished. It's more aggressive than just a regular polishing cloth. So anyway, so you just buff that out, buff the rust off with the lighter fluid on that. Let it set a little bit, clean it real good, and then if you're gonna store it for a long time, I would recommend a good, fairly thick oil or a grease type product. Cosmoline works the best if you can get it. I ain't seen it in a long time, so I don't know if, but I'm talking about long term, you know, years. But I've got knives over here in my case that's on Etsy for sale that's as good as the day I put them in there. So, but anyway, what I do with them is once I get them to this stage, buffed up, everything, get the lighter fluid on them. I'll leave the lighter fluid on it. I'll do it one more time with the lighter fluid after I alcohol it. And what you're doing is you're just lifting all the debris that you've got up, because lighter fluid, the old type for the, not butane now, no, the Ronson, for the Zippo type lighters. And this is pretty good stuff. I mean, anybody that's ever carried a Zippo lighter in their pocket and had it overfilled and it leaked knows it will raise blood blisters on boot leather when it does that. So don't be overly exposed to it. Use rubber gloves and clean it down. Let that dry. And what this does is it makes a protective film on this. This is not only to be used as a lighter fluid, it can also be used as a cleaner, a penetrator, and a dry lubricant. Now this right here is the best. Well, lighter fluid, I'm assuming it's lighter fluid. Don't get naphtha. No. Don't use, before you do that, don't use acetone, because acetone strips all the oil off. This is a petroleum product, distillate, and it leaves a little bit of the petroleum behind as a dry film. You can wipe it off with your fingers, but I don't recommend it, you know. And this, I do this with my rifle bolt. And the reason I know this is Kenny Jarrett of Jarrett Rifles is in South Carolina, and he makes guns, gunsmith and gun manufacturer. And this is what he recommends you do. It is a water repellent also, and will keep moisture out of your firing pin, out of the way, or it will kind of shed off of it in your firing mechanism, so it will still work at below zero temperatures. This. And then once you get that done, get it all cleaned up, then you could take the product. 3-in-1 oil is fantastic. Don't use Fantastic on it. No. I'm not telling you to do that, because that is a grease remover also. Then you want to just take a few drops of this Norton's and rub it in. Just rub it in. Be mindful of the edge. The edge will be sharp. Now, once you do all that, it will drip off like I leave these hanging. This has been hanging over probably a week. You know, anywhere from 3 days to 7 days. Been hanging over. Can't really remember how long it was when I put it up there. But anyway, then you just rub a little bit of that on there. See what little bit I got, just a little bit on my fingers on the outside of the can, and you just rub just a little bit on there. It'll rub right in and disappear. Well, we know that oil don't just up and vanish unless you burn it off. So it was rubbing into the pores of this knife. You can feel a little bit of raised grain there where it's softer, where the back is softer than the edge on the blade there. You can feel that. So there's a fella one time asked us, why does everybody pick up a knife? First thing they do run their dead damn hands down, pinch the blade and run down it. Okay, when you're showing it to them, everybody does it. And I know exactly why they do it, because I do it. So does every other knife maker that knows it too, if they do it. When you do this, if you got good feelings in your fingers, you can feel any waves, dips, bumps, any big scratches. You can feel them better than you can without seeing them. That's the reason they do that. And do that all day with mine. They're fine. I mean, I make sure that there's nothing, because that's what I do. I sit here and I'll rub them, and if I feel something that I'm not sure about, I'll resand it. So get it down there like that. So, but anyway, back to the care. On these high carbon knives, they will rust. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts about it. They will rust. Some rust faster than others. My knife, I store in a leather sheath. It's in the house, but there's no rust on it. It's been treated with ferric chloride and rubbed down, wiped down, and I wipe it down every year, clean it up, and I go. And it's like the day I made it. It's got a few scratches here and there on the blade, but it's my knife. It's what it's made for. It's a tool. That's the reason I make them, because they're tools. And and this, you can see down in, I don't know if you can or not, inside this chimping right there is a little bit of rust right in there. Well, I'm going to take a card file here in a little bit, and I'm going to clean that out and re-oil it. Try and see if that'll stop that. But what I've done is I've cut into the metal. Once it come out of the ferric chloride, I run the checkering file through there. That's the reason it's rusting now. I run a checkering file through there. But like I said, when you buff it up, this has been hanging over there for nearly a week, maybe a full week, and it looks just as good. The oil has actually, all the excess has dripped off of it, but it's protecting it. I can wipe it down, do a little, I can take just a little bit of steel wool right here and just buff it up a little bit. Now you're not putting a lot of pressure on it. I mean, you're not trying to remove the other side. All you're doing is just kind of buffing it up. It's reason for 4/0, so it don't scratch the blade up. Other side, this side buffed, this side not buffed. Now, I didn't add nothing to it, just a piece of steel wool. Just kind of buff it. It will take the haze off of it and a little bit of light rust. Light, almost nothing. The oxidization, what I should say. And that's that is that. See how shiny it is now compared to what it was? Okay, now once you do all of that and you put just a couple of little drops of oil on it, you can rub it down. Take your little piece of felt. You go to Walmart and get a sheet of felt and use that just to wipe it down with just a little bit of oil. You're good to go. Now, the reason I like the high carbon knives is you get in trouble if you've got a rock and some really good dry crumbled up tinder. You can have a fire in just a little while. And because you can go, this will be the steel piece of flint, chert, whatever rock that will make it spark. It will spark. That's the reason all my knives, I try my best to make them multitaskers, not unitaskers. There's a few that's got one good job to do, but they can do others. But with that, and when you get to it, this is not been touched on wet rock or anything. So when you I had one here a while ago, I thought. Yeah, I told you to walk off. Don't they? Yes, there it is. You hid from me. Now there you. Go to your room. No wait. You're gonna be strapped on there just a little bit. 400 grit. It's a diamond stone, embedded diamond stone, slick on the back, steel on the back. Got a fish hook groove on right here. Knife. One of the ideal angles is about 20 to 24 degrees. I like to put a little thicker edge, so I make it like an apple seed. It's kind of round to a point there, and that's what you're doing. You want probably just a little bit more than that, and you can I don't know if you can see me do this or not. Let me turn it down. Okay, I don't know if I showed, can't remember. Okay, make sure that this is in frame right about there. Take your knife, hold it on about a 20-degree angle, 20 to 24, and and what you want to do is you want to slice 1/1000th of an inch off of this rock every time you pass it. Every time you pass this knife, you're trying to shave off the top of these diamonds and make them flat. You're trying to make it this side match this side, only you're doing it lightly. You don't have to press down, just give it light pressure and go. Sometimes you got to do, and you can see with it acid etched all the way up to the edge of the blade there, you can see the little shiny parts are, that's where the edge is getting sharp. Now there've been a little burrs there that's chipped off, that I've chipped off, but the edge is absolutely nothing wrong with the edge. So, and I've taken it on my edge test. I've scraped mild steel. I've whacked on mild steel, not with this edge. Now, you have to do it a little bit thicker than this. I mean, any edge will shatter if you take it to a real sharp, start hacking, trying to cut through steel like cutting down a tree. Any of them will do that. I've seen boys where they take them and whack right through there like that and cut a steel rod. That's fine, but that's not taking a big bar and whacking it. So, but anyway, you do that. Okay, it's enough. Then you can turn it over and you do about the same thing on this side. And no, I've not pre-sharpened it. Then, probably one of the most important things that you can do to it is strop it. Now, you can see this right here is a piece of leather. I don't have anything embedded in it. No compounds, no nothing. This is equine, horse leather. So, this right here is the flesh side. This goes be muscles, be sinew, fat, muscle attached to this side of the hide. This side is the skin side. The outside, the hair side, as you can still see the hair follicles in some of it there, right there. Now, and you probably wondering why in the world they're making leather out of horse hide. Nobody eats horses. Yes, they eat horses. They use them for everything. So, whatever else. They're a very versatile animal. Not only can you work them, you can also eat them after you work them if you want to. This cordovan right here, like shell cordovan, they make shoes out of it, bespoke shoes. It's really tough, really good, and most of it's either shoulder or rump where it comes from, around the tough, thicker areas. But anyway, get back to stropping, and you take your knife, do like that. When you do that, pull it away. It's not as, the angle is steeper. You use a little steeper angle doing this. What you're trying to do is remove any burrs that you may have had, any wire edges or anything with that. And a good stropping every once in a while will save a wet rock. This is one of the best things you can do for a knife after you get it relatively sharp, is you can strop it and make it and hone this down to a super edge. Like I said, this, I normally don't sharpen them till I make that, but ooh, geez, yeah, it was dull to start with. Just the chemical etch, I hadn't done nothing to it. I don't know if you can see that hair or not, but my God, it's got hair jumping everywhere on it. And I mean, I'm not cutting hard, and that's all I've done to it. You've seen what I've done to it. I've done a few light licks on the diamond side, a couple of light licks on steel side, and then 5 or 6, 7 straps that way, and the hair will just absolutely just pop right off of you. And it ain't nowhere near as sharp as what it will be when I put it in the sheath for the last time. So that's how I deal with them. Now, like I said, I'm done with it for right now. When you use it, wipe it off. It's got blood, gore, guts, whatever on it, and because it is a tool for that and other things too. This is in food preparations and everything else, so take just a little bit of this, just a couple of little drops here and there, and you just wipe it in, just little bitty drops. See how that is, and it's still fairly good size ones right there. 2 drops. That. Is that. Now if you don't want, so then you slide that in the sheath, it will eventually just almost disappear on it, but it's still there, been rubbed in. It's slick. You buffed any soft areas smooth, you buffed the edge, you've done everything, you've sharpened it. And you don't need it for a few days or for a few months. This right here will take care of it. Just pull it out when you start to go hunting or wherever like that. Pull it out, wipe it down, and if it's got any kind of surface rust on it, just take a steel wool pad, 4/0, and give it a little bit right there, and it should be fine. So anyway, I hope this helps on the care of helps you out on the care of high carbon knives, blade steel, everything else like this. This one's been laying out with a satin mirror finish on it. I know it's been gone over a week. No rust on it nowhere. None. Ain't touched it other than just to wipe some of the foreign things off it. Well, I did. I'll take it back. I used it to cut the plastic tubes off of the mosaic pins that I made. So anyway, I got some handles to shape. So till next time, this is Bobby Shields from Dogbone Knives saying God bless.